One of the words that you use there is mobilization. And here is something really important that I want the listeners to know. In order for you to move out of suffering and into a state of creativity and flow in your life, you need to be willing to accept and acknowledge how you feel and get present with the feedback that your inner guidance is attempting to bring into your conscious awareness. Your inner guidance and your emotional body are technology, and they're offering you so much information that can be really useful to help you to direct your life toward your purpose and to live a life that is most meaningful and joyful for you. When we ignore and fight our emotions, we create stagnancy and blockages in our emotional and energetic bodies, and then ultimately in our lives and in our ability to take action. This is no joke. It happens to so many people. They don't want to face how they feel, and therefore they get stuck and they don't know what to do. If you can get comfortable and start to respect your inner world and build a conversation within every single day with what you're feeling and what you're needing, you can then start to advocate for yourself and mobilize energy. I think one of the biggest red flags that we see with clients when it comes to our relationship with our emotions is when you feel like you can't take action in your life. Some people know of this as a state of functional freeze. We've got low energy, maybe chronic fatigue has set in. We feel uninspired. We don't feel courageous. We've started procrastinating and holding back. This is a sign that you've lost trust in that internal conversation. And when you reestablish connection to yourself and the wisdom and feedback that is being offered up, you can start to, like I said, advocate for yourself, take aligned action, and mobilize this energy. This is the beginning of moving into the ascension process, from the descend into the ascension. And we spoke about being creative. On the way to getting yourself unblocked, when you've been in a low and a funk, there may be anger that needs to come up. And that is honestly a beautiful sign of energy starting to mobilize to get you going. I love anger as an emotion to work with to help people break through blocks. And a lot of people fear their anger and their frustration, and they think it's bad and they reject it and stuff it down, and it's actually keeping them stuck. But if you can get curious about what you're not happy with in your life, where you're frustrated, where you need to set boundaries, you can create fast change.
Yeah, usually when you're coming out of a functional state of freeze, there has been a lot of suppressed anger there. And that's a part of, your body-mind system has not felt safe to be with that emotion. And then your whole energy is in preservation. But as soon as you find safety with, that anger that you're feeling, and you can mobilize it and express it and move it, then you start to regain your energy.
And a lot of people who are experiencing depression are afraid of their anger. And if you can start to respect the wisdom of anger, it will move you along the emotional spectrum into what's beyond anger, which is creativity.
Yeah, and depression is also connected to things in the past that we haven't processed. So if there's things that are unresolved and they're weighing you down, it's an indication to, again, just connect to how you're feeling and embrace it. Take away the judgment of what you're feeling. You don't have to attach how you're feeling to a story. You might know, yes, I'm feeling this way because this happened in the past and it feels unresolved. It feels like an open loop. Or there might not be any story there. You might just feel upset and angry and sad. The story doesn't matter. Meeting the emotions with presence and finding safety with them and authentically processing them is the key to setting yourself free. And when you set yourself free and you start to access more energy from within and you step into being a creator, that's when you can start to co-create with the field. And when you co-create with the field, you're no longer allowing your external reality to imprint on you of what's possible. You're starting to imprint on your environment, on your reality of what you believe to be possible, what you believe you can create. It's a deep knowing. You might not have evidence yet for it in your external reality, but there's this feeling, there's this knowing that you can create this. And from that place, you feel empowered. You believe in yourself. You believe in your ability to follow a vision and to take inspired action. And you know that your higher self has a plan greater than yours. And when you're in that state and you trust that, and you're working with the field and you're working with your intuition and you're taking inspired action, things do open up. And they open up in a really miraculous way. And it's a totally different state of operating in the world from feeling like a victim and feeling disempowered and feeling powerless and hopeless, and we all go through that. But what we're suggesting is what we've been speaking about is a way to move from that dissension, from that lower vibrational state of being, and start to shift your energy, mobilize energy, and start spiraling up. Start regaining your energy and power, knowing that you are a creator and anything that you want to create is possible. And that's the work, right? We can either be doing two forms of work here. We can be doing the work of giving our energy and attention to all the disempowering thoughts and stories and feelings in a way that we're looping and we just stay in that loop. Or we can do the work of what we're talking about, meeting what is with a non-judgmental energy of compassion and curiosity and acceptance, and start to process it. And as you start to process it, then you start to regain your energy. And from there you can create.
Along the lines of the acceptance piece, one of the affirmations that I've been working with lately is all emotions and circumstances are workable. All emotions and circumstances are workable. It is such a peaceful thought to just see that everything is workable. I can work with sadness. I can work with anger. I can work with my plan not going the way I thought it would.
That's a big one. I want to speak into that because a lot of people make these plans for what they want to happen. And they project so far into the future of like, when this happens, then this is going to happen. I'm going to do this and that and that. And then when their plans don't work out and it all crumbles and falls away, they descend and they feel devastated. And there's so much resistance and judgment to the present moment because it didn't go to plan. And in it not going to plan, they feel so upset. But it's all a made up story of how you wanted reality to go.
Right. You made that up.
You made that up. You made that up. And then life, the universe, God had another plan for you. And now you feel totally unsupported. You feel victimized in that. You feel like this shouldn't be happening. All because you made up a story of what you thought was going to happen, what you wanted to happen, and your expectation was totally shattered. And there's that disappointment that sets in. But life has its own plan for us. And often it's much greater than we can see in the moment. And if we can bring acceptance to the present moment exactly how it is without fighting against it, it might not be how you want it to be, but can you accept that this is how the present moment is? And then from there, you can take radical responsibility in your part. There's things that you can do to start shifting and moving and mobilizing energy in a way that can support you to pivot and change the plan.
Absolutely. This is reminding me of another affirmation that I say all the time, which is, I live in a friendly universe that wants me to win. And I think that these affirmations or helpful thoughts can be really useful to put everything into perspective. Another tool that we work with, or a frame of viewing reality, is something that the guides taught us. And that is to live with neutrality with a positive preference. And so what that means is, yes, I have my preferences about how I want my life to go. And yes, I have ideas about things that I want to create and manifest. And yes, every day I will be taking responsibility for the actions that I take in my to-do list and showing up and yada, yada, doing my part. That is co-creation. And I also trust that I live in a friendly universe that wants me to win, which means I can take a step back and not micromanage everything, trust the process, and relax.
Mm.
So in relaxation, there is neutrality. And with that neutrality, of course, I'm declaring my preference is for things to go really, really great.